What's up, ballers? We are here with a little mini-series where we're going to be doing some comparisons between NBA Live 18 and NBA 2K18. Obviously, coming into this year, there was a lot of hype around NBA Live 18. There wasn't any NBA Live 17 because NBA Live 16 was an absolute disaster. But EA really hyped the game up. We were really excited about it. They had a bunch of YouTubers come in for their parties. We got a sneak peek at their gameplay, which didn't look amazing, but looked like it had a lot of potential, especially given what we had in NBA Live 16. So we got the demo. A lot of people were excited about it. At the same time, a lot of people said that the demo was trash. It was kind of hard to compare because while we did have NBA 2K17 to compare the game to, obviously that's not the same as comparing it to NBA 2K18. So we do have the game now. This video is going to be comparing NBA Live 18's The One to My Park in NBA 2K18. So obviously, Park is the most popular game mode in NBA 2K18, and it has actually become my favorite game mode as well. Before, I used to be a guy that really only played My Team, mainly because I started out in NBA Live Mobile, and NBA Live Mobile is a largely card-based game, just like My Team is in NBA 2K17 and is in 2K18. But since the start of this year, since I've started playing 2K18 way more than I played 2K17, I've grown kind of a distaste for My Team and also grown a love for Park. So we're taking a comparison just to compare the two. At the beginning, when I was mainly playing My Team, I got really frustrated, and I assumed that all the problems I was seeing in My Team were throughout all of NBA 2K18, which really isn't true. Honestly, if you take a look at Park mode and the playground, everything that you can go through, it's all really well done. The majority of the issues in NBA 2K18 are with My Team. Now, obviously, there are going to be some issues everywhere in the game. There are way too many VC purchases required, lots of different things that need to be fixed. But overall, for Park mode, I would say they've done a pretty good job. There are some unbalanced players. Pure sharpshooters and big men are way too overpowered, so they probably need to be balanced a little bit. But outside of that, it's a really solid game mode. So I had not played NBA Live 18 at all ever since the start of NBA 2K18, mainly because I played them like on back-to-back days, and just like comparing them days apart, NBA 2K18 was miles and miles ahead of NBA Live 18. So I figured, okay, everybody's going to be playing 2K18. I enjoy it more. Why would I not just put it on the channel? With that logic, I didn't even go to GameStop to pick up my pre-order until like a week and a half after both games had been out. But I did go and get NBA Live 18 because I figured I would give it another try. Maybe it's not as bad as I remembered it being. So there are obviously pros and cons to each game. I'm going to kind of go through those as we progress through the video. I will say, if we're going to compare just realism, NBA 2K18 without a doubt has the advantage. Way more realism for a lot of different reasons. So one of the first things is difficulty in making shots. In NBA Live 18, especially if you go in community challenges where basically you team up with other players in the game, you go up against the AI and see if you can beat them, it is ridiculously easy to score. I, for some reason, ended up getting my character reset, so it wasn't a 78 during the trial, and now it got set back to a 73, which was a little disappointing, but I found out it doesn't really make a difference. So apparently, from what I've seen in the game so far, overall, really doesn't matter for your character. So if you took a 92 in NBA 2K18 in the Park and put him up against a 73, he would absolutely wreck him. The badges that he would have, his stats would just make him unstoppable, especially compared to a 73. I, as a 73, went into a community challenge with a 98 overall, and I actually dropped more points than the guy, and I hadn't played NBA Live 18 in 2 or 3 weeks. So that kind of gives you an idea of what stats really have to do with the game. It also kind of gives you an idea of how easy it is to level up in the game. Pretty much every single community game or community match that I played in NBA Live 18 today, I leveled up after every single one. So you're getting stats after every single level up, whereas I probably have to grind maybe 50 games, maybe even more, just to rep up one time in NBA 2K18. And while that is hard, you don't get as much instant gratification. You actually feel like you have to work for what you're getting. I honestly just didn't get that feel from NBA Live 18. Now, I will say, if you're not an avid basketball gamer, then NBA Live 18 is probably for you. It's easier to master for sure. I was listening to people that I was playing with talk about the game earlier today, and they actually use the term spam dribble, which I don't think is anything I've ever heard of in NBA 2K18, but it's basically where they just spam the dribble button until they get past the defender, which is just, it's kind of ridiculous if you think about it. It should require skill to actually get past defenders. You shouldn't just be able to spam the dribble button until you get past them. So there are a lot of differences in gameplay. If you've heard people talk about both games, obviously most people have talked about how NBA Live 18 is a good bit choppier, which is to be expected. 2K has been developing their game longer, or at least they've had more successful games come out. Obviously, 2K passed NBA Live back in 2009 and hasn't really looked back ever since. So they've made a lot of improvements. They look a lot better graphically. We looked at a lot of the screenshots coming into NBA Live 18 and 2K18, and it looked like 2K18 was actually going to have worse graphics than NBA Live 18. And while 2K's graphics do look a little bit cartoony, there are just a lot of blemishes with NBA Live 18's graphics. I will say their My players, though, do look more like real people. My career player in Live 18 is actually known as the One, actually looks like an actual person. Now, my face scan I couldn't get to work. I think it had a hard time taking into account my beard. I'm not really sure why that was, but my 2K face scan looks more like me, but my live face scan my live player looks more like an actual person. So in that regard, I will say Live does have the advantage. For the most part, they actually have more accurate face scans for most of the people that I've seen, but for mine personally, it just didn't come out well. So we're just still taking a look at some of this gameplay side by side. As you guys can see, crazy easy to dunk in NBA Live 18. So that's one of the biggest differences I will say is on dunks and layups. It is very, very difficult to miss a layup or dunk in NBA Live 18. Basically, if you're remotely close to the basket and there's not a rim protector in front of you, it's pretty much going to go in every time. And if you're a wing scorer archetype like I am, if you get any type of momentum going toward the basket, it is an automatic dunk, which is fun to play with, but it's not incredibly realistic. You guys are also going to see in this game of NBA Live 18, my 6'5", 6'7", something around there, small forward is having a pretty easy time guarding a 7'3" rim protector, which is not incredibly realistic once again. Like I said, if you're going for realism, obviously you're going to want to choose NBA 2K18 because they've been doing this for a while. Now, there are a lot of things in NBA Live 18 that can help you out if you are a beginner. So, like I said, Live 18 is going to be the one that you want to pick if you are a beginning gamer. I thought that they were going to have the entire time NBA Live 18 being $40, but it was actually only $40 for the pre-order, which they probably did intentionally, knowing that 2K was most likely going to release something that would kind of show them up. I mean, we were expecting a lot from 2K, and for a long time we were left in the dark, but once they actually gave us the information about what was being put in the game, we were blown out of the water. I'm going to say the trailer for Playground was undoubtedly one of the most successful trailers in probably sports video game history. It went totally viral. Everybody was talking about it, got everybody hyped for it. Then the Prelude came out, and the Prelude honestly kind of sucked. The gameplay was decent, but it was just way too short. But once we got the real game, 2K kind of took over like everybody expected. So obviously there are going to be pros and cons. I'm mainly talking about Park and the One, at least in regards to what we're looking at here. So I'm probably going to do a video comparing my team and Live Ultimate Team, which are 2K's and Live's two different game modes that are essentially card-based game modes, where you collect cards and build your team. I have a feeling Live Ultimate Team is actually going to have the advantage in this one because there have been a lot of complaints for Live Ultimate Team, or not Live Ultimate Team, for my team this year. So it'll be interesting to see how they stack up and what gameplay is going to look like when you're actually playing with NBA players. But that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. We do have the gameplay up on the screen, so make sure you guys check that out. Let me drop a comment down below what you think looks like the biggest difference between the two. Obviously, Live 18 a little bit more mechanical, but there are some pros to it as well. You got some cool dunks, some cool layup animations and whatnot. But that's going to be it for this video. Make sure you guys drop a like down below if you enjoyed. Also, make sure to subscribe if you're new. We got lots of NBA 2K18 live streams for you guys, as well as other content coming out, and I will see you guys next time.